presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
Arizona baseball on the air from the Grand Canyon to downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Chase Field, the Diamondbacks knee-deep in a pennant race and in the middle of having a time to keep winning. The Giants are idle tonight. And Arizona, 4.5 game back, a chance to make it a half day of moving day. And certainly glad to have you with us. It's the Brewers and the Diamondbacks, game 4 of this series. Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and we trust your week's been a good one to this point. Well, a bad night certainly makes it a bad week for the Diamondbacks when you lose Stephen Drew. And Stephen Drew, with surgery here going on right now as we speak on that fractured right ankle, Drew out for the season. Willie Bloomquist now is the guy who takes over with the starting job. Cody Ransom is up from the minor leagues as well, but this is how it went down last night.
Yeah, just a gruesome injury, and look away, folks, if you've got a bit of a queasy tummy. Stephen Drew, unfortunately, ran through a stop sign. Just what looks like a routine slide. His foot gets caught underneath his body, and then the rest is unfortunate history. And Stephen Drew obviously going to miss the rest of this season and possibly into next season, I would imagine, Darren. And well, it's time for Willie Bloomquist and the rest of these Diamondbacks to step up in Stephen Drew's absence. And you know what? Sometimes it's unfortunate things like this that maybe bring out the best in other guys.
Okay, so you talk about guys like Willie Bloomquist and Cody Ransom, but I think you're talking deeper with regard to stepping up. There's an offensive hole now. Who fills that hole?
Well, hopefully the rest of the guys. You don't really want to look for one person, but you know, of the guys, the mainstays, you think Justin Upton, Chris Young, Miguel Montero, Kelly Johnson, and the rest of the guys. I mean, these are certainly the four guys that have driven in the most runs. They've scored the most runs. They are your most productive hitters. But I think it's going to have to be everybody, a collective everybody, to make up for Stephen Drew. And who knows? Maybe they're in their dugout right now saying, you know what? Let's do this for Stephen.
Do it for Drew. Certainly the rallying cry down below. The Diamondbacks have hit just .202 since the All-Star break. That quartet that you saw hitting just .219. So they have to pick it up. We've got a fun pitching matchup for you tonight, and certainly get well soon. Looking for win number 11 is Ian Kennedy on the air, and a guy by the name of Zach Greinke. He already has a Cy Young on his shelf at home. He's been up and down this year. They hope the Diamondbacks that they catch him down again. Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River casino and win up to $20,000 right away. Right now, get to Jack in the Box, where for a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich, it's back, and it's only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats with no blackout dates.
And welcome back to Chase Field. The D-backs wrapping up their 4-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're doing so with a heavy heart. As the guys just told you in our opening segment, Stephen Drew, with that fractured right ankle, he is done for the season. So when a team is a little down, they need a shot in the arm, they turn to their ace, and Ian Kennedy has been exactly that this season for the D-backs. He'll toe the rubber tonight against Zach Greinke. Ian Kennedy going after a career-high 11th win of the season. Get this, in his last 17 starts, he has a record of 9-2, an ERA of 2.89. Greinke at 7-3. A couple of D-backs have touched him up over the years. Montero hitting .667 against Greinke, and Jay up .500. So a good matchup on the hill tonight as the D-backs and Brewers wrap up this 4-game series. No Stephen Drew for the D-backs the rest of the season, so now it's Willie's world out there at a shortstop. Did it with the glove, with the arm, and he did it with the stick. The game-tying double last night. Darren and Mark with a call on Fox Sports Arizona. After the
indoors here at Chase Field. Great night for a winning night if you're a Diamondbacks fan, and they hope with these Milwaukee Brewers in town, who have been tough foes, that Ian Kennedy can match them stride for stride as he gets ready to go to work. Ron Renicky has been creative with that lineup. He's been creative with the bullpen. He knows that he's different with Ryan Braun in there. Braun has given a different look the last couple of days. He's in there again. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, and when you talk about it, they've used a new lineup, these Brewers, in each of the last 20 games. Hart, Morgan, Braun, with Prince Fielder, Ricky Weeks, Casey McGee, Yuniesky, Betancourt, Jonathan Lucroy. Zach Greinke is on the mound, and again, Nigel Morgan in center. Carlos Gomez placed on the disabled list, a fractured left clavicle last night, so Morgan front and center now. Ian Kennedy's front and center in the middle of the diamond, the 26-year-old right-hander that has experienced, as we take a look at our forward numbers, career improvement since his move from the New York Yankees here to the desert. And really, one of his biggest jumps came near the end of last season when it appeared against, ironically enough, these Brewers in Milwaukee, that he had been done and hit the wall. Well, he didn't. He was strong. He's been strong all season long. Let's play baseball on this Thursday night. Over the outside corner, we're underway, and it's strike one to leadoff hitter Corey Hart. 13 homers, hit a leadoff homer a couple of days ago in this series. That's his lone hit in this series. He's in the hold, 0-2.
Kennedy just threw a fastball right by him at 90 miles an hour.
Hart not interested in that one. It's up at the letters. The Milwaukee on his chest. These Brewers on their way now to San Francisco for a series against the San Francisco Giants. So if you're a Diamondbacks fan, you immediately become a Brewers fan tomorrow. That is it for Corey Hart. He goes down on strikes. 114 strikeouts this season for Ian Kennedy. Defensively, let's take a look for the Arizona Diamondbacks with Parra, Young, Upton in the outfield. On the infield, a new look certainly with Willie Bloomquist at short. Behind the plate, Miguel Montero. Cody Ransom, who is having an incredible year in the minor leagues and is 35 years old, been playing this game for a long time, is there to help as well. And Ransom, big numbers. I mean, huge numbers out of Grand Canyon.
That's worthy of a call-up, no question. Just dominating AAA.
First in RBIs, first in extra base hits. 226 total bases, slugging .657. You know what? Congratulations to Cody Ransom. You hope that out of something so terrible, maybe something good comes. Line drive, base hit center field. Well, Nigel Morgan makes the statement that I have a teammate who's fallen. I know I have an added responsibility. Gracie, he's doing exactly what you talked about for the Diamondbacks, filling a hole. Gomez probably won't be back this year.
Yeah, he's going to be the everyday center fielder now. And sometimes that's all you need is an opportunity to be an everyday player. And right now, it's up to Nigel Morgan to take it and run with it, just like it is whoever plays shortstop for the Diamondbacks and the rest of the guys to take this opportunity and run with it.
Ryan Braun's had a big series. He missed game one of the series.
He likes to homer in the first inning.
Yeah, he has been unloading early and often. High fly, left field. He almost did it again. He almost did it again, but he couldn't square it up. A little bit of late movement went in on the hands. Well, this is what you're talking about with regard to this series.
Well, that was off of Barry Enright a couple of nights ago. And then last night in the first inning, same story. Way out of here to left field. That one was off of Joe Saunders. That was about the only bad pitch Joe Saunders made all night last night. But Ian Kennedy got him, albeit on a ball to the track, but he's out anyways.
Prince Fielder takes over the outside. He has struck out 3 times in 5 at-bats in his career against Kennedy.
I was kind of hoping he might just take a rest this game and just go on up to San Francisco because he's 1 for 12 in this series. And it's going to change. Somebody's going to pay and pay dearly. You hope it's not Ian Kennedy.
Well, he has 2 hits in 5 at-bats against Kennedy, including a homer. I mean, the story really in this series, you saw Hart, he was erased. Prince 1 for 12. Weeks 3 of 11. That's a combined 5 for 36 coming in. There have been other names that have done big work. Some surprising, some not. Good-looking changeup. That had Fielder way out front. No, instead the names have been Betancourt, as we see that changeup again, with 5 hits. Braun with 4 hits. Lucroy with 4 hits. Those 3 have combined for 4 homers. Those guys hitting .464. There's a changeup. Look at Morgan hustling the throw. Not in time.
Great base running by Morgan.
It's a wild pitch.
You almost want to give that a stolen base if you could. You can't. It's just great anticipation. He sees it down. He's off to the races. That ball doesn't get away from Montero hardly at all, but easily in is Nigel Morgan. Just anticipating a ball in the dirt. That's just professional base running. Something we didn't see much of last night, Darren.
No, both sides, too.
Exactly.
Really.
Saw some poor base running by the Diamondbacks and the Brewers last night.
2-2 the count. Chases up and away. A changeup. And an ugly one. Fielder's getting overly aggressive, chasing up and out of the zone. This is nowhere near where he wanted to throw this pitch.
All's right that ends right.
Team revamped, reloaded, ready to go, playing in the honor of shortstop Stephen Drew. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and right away, Willie Bloomquist at the top. Kelly Johnson, Justin Upton, Chris Young, Miguel Montero, Jeff Blum will see a lot more playing time now. Some at short as well. Brandon Allen, Gerardo Parra, and Ian Kennedy. Zach Greinke, the right-hander, is 27. He won a Cy Young a couple of years back. He's got a 5.04 ERA, but his numbers are very interesting this year to study as he fires a fastball in there that is high. 1-0 the count. First off, you saw the ERA over 5. He's worked 80 in the third innings, and he struck out 107.
Golly. Weird.
I mean, really, really hard to explain stuff.
To be able to strike out that many batters, but yet still have an ERA over 5, that doesn't make much sense.
There you go. A lot of hits with runners in scoring position.
One of the
shorter starts.
Yeah, one of the better sliders in all of baseball.
Breaking ball into left field. That was a curveball, not the slider. A slower curveball. And there's Willie Bloomquist. Got to feel good. Bloomquist is on. Let's take a look defensively as they work behind Greinke. Braun, Morgan Hart, David Robleski and Associates sponsors the defense. Unieski Betancourt under the watchful eye of his leaders, and Jonathan Lucroy is catching Zach Greinke. Elijah Morgan, an everyday center fielder now. I mean, every day. There is no platoon now. He's played well. Kelly Johnson takes in 1-0 the count. Kelly.
Velocity a little bit down now for Zach Greinke. Used to throw the fastball in the mid-90s, anywhere from 94 to 97 miles an hour, but more in the low 90s now, anywhere around 90 to 92 with the fastball this year, and that makes a big difference.
So command has to be even sharper. That one, boy, good heavy sinking fastball. Looks like he's throwing more two-seamers as well. We've seen 2 pitches dive like that, but the count 2-0 on Kelly Johnson.
What was it, a couple years ago, Darren, that he went about 3 months of the season with an ERA under 1?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
the
it
Kansas
was.
City Royals.
It was in 2009, the year he won the Cy Young Award. Kelly beaten with a fastball on 2-0. He got 92 miles an hour. Nissan brings you the key to the game, our good partners with your local Nissan dealers. Well, it's 7-10.
Yeah. Well, think bowling, Darren. What does 7-10 denote? In the game of bowling. Yeah, that's like a split, right? Well, the goal tonight, after winning that first game, the Diamondbacks have gotten whipped by these Milwaukee Brewers the last couple nights, and now you're looking to get a 7-10. You're dying to get a split and make a success out of this homestand in this series, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Got it, and that's a good one, and that makes a lot of sense. On a night in which you're kicking yourself because of last night, put the injury aside. You're kicking yourself because you should have won the game, and you should have gained a game on San Francisco.
So. And the pitching was fabulous last night. Joe Saunders was terrific last night.
Justin takes a sinking fastball called a strike. Looked like it was at the shins, but 0-1 the count. It's interesting to see the full circle relationship of Kirk Gibson step onto the center stage last night, whereas Saunders didn't have the trust of his manager to be named a starting pitcher late in spring training. He had the trust of his manager to stay in that game. Now, cost Saunders a run, but it still was a good moment, a really solid moment between the two. Fastball in. Justin's 2 of 4 with 3 walks in his career against Greinke. Zach has pitched over the last couple of years because of interleague play against the Diamondbacks, most recently in Kansas City. And it was during that time where he felt like he was giving up about a half a run a game. Diamondbacks hammered him.
Beat him. And that was not a very good Diamondbacks team that year.
In that ball game, he went 6 2/3 innings on the 17th day of June 2005. He gave up 6 runs. He struck out 9. 115 pitches. It was a 12-5 Arizona win.
We got a couple of Zach Greinke shirts, I remember.
We
We were in Kansas City that trip. I've still got mine.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
That slider there.
Now that's the slider, right? Curveball in the 70s.
Yeah, that's a thing of beauty right there. That's just a hard slider, just goes straight down. Not down and across, straight down. Beautiful pitch.
That's the career. We'll tell you about some of the other starts because they're intriguing as well to talk about. 1-2, the count on Upton. Time is called through a breaking ball up there. And so everyone's all right. All's well that ends well. Well, they let you know he was about to throw another breaking ball. Had it gripped and went ahead and threw it.
No, late call of timeout there by Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire.
Milwaukee is 10-4 when he starts. Well, not much of a move over there. So, yes, it's been a 5 ERA. Yes, he has had shorter starts, but they're 10-4. His Royals were 12-21 in games that he started last year. Now, last year in Kansas City, he did have an ERA over 4. He gave the Royals 220 innings, though, last year.
Awesome.
Into the dirt, nice job, no surprise. Lucroy putting his nose on it yet again. 2-2 the count on Upton. .47 runs batted in. The 2-2. Fastball right there. Strike 3.
Justin got caught looking for a slider. That's the dangerous part of being a guess hitter. Sometimes by guessing wrong, you end up taking a good pitch to hit, and that was a good pitch to hit. Justin usually can hammer that pitch. Right there on the inner third and right by standing and watching Justin Upton.
So now Chris Young, 5 times he has faced Greinke official at bats in his career. He's 0 for 5 with a couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. 4 of 10 in this series for Young. And since June 1st, one of the most consistent offensive Diamondbacks. Slow curveball.
Balloon.
Really fluttered it in there. Greinke in his career has 67 wins and 70 losses.
Does it seem to you that sometimes Zach just makes things up out
bored.
there once? Yeah, sometimes this pitching is so easy for him, or has been in the past, that sometimes he just gets bored with it. So let me throw a balloon up there once in a while just to see if I can get him out with it. Young Kim used to do that. He'd become Louis Tiant out there or something like that. And just make things up.
And instead of it being charming, unfortunately, when he's not winning big and consistently, because he has an adverse relationship with the media, it's kind of hard to tell where he's coming from.
Right.
He really makes himself unavailable, except for after he starts when he has a few comments about the game. The 1-1. Slider, did he go around? No, he did not, says Tim McClellan. It's Marvin Hudson behind the plate. The crew chief, Big Tim, the Michigander. He had this call to make.
And he got it right.
Teddy Barrett is at second base. Brian Runge is at third.
One of our favorite crews, these 4 guys.
It's an old school crew.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Now don't be offended, guys. I didn't say it's an old crew. Old school.
But they've all been around a while now.
2-1 the count. Fastball, foul ball, and it's shot right back into the broadcast booth next door. Former Major League catcher over there, Bill Schroeder, just an awful play. I mean, it came his way. There he is.
That's him right there.
Wow.
And he just came up from behind his desk.
Great guy, and he had a nice career as a catcher. Good friend, but just an awful play.
Well, he's got the ball, but it's after he ducked away from it and picked it up off the ground.
Swing and a miss. There's that slider again. A couple of strikeouts. There will be more tonight, I promise. But can you get to him? Baseball, the Padres head to Philadelphia to face Ryan Howard and the National League East leading Phillies. Check out all the action starting at 1, only on Fox. So now Ricky Weeks. Weeks 3 of 11 with a home run in this series as we welcome you back. Weeks and Fielder, and they're good at it. Just about every other day, both put on a power display in batting practice. Pitch is just off the plate, 1-0 the count. This year, Arizona's managed to throttle Weeks, the dangerous hitter, usually dangerous leadoff hitter, but he's been moved to the 5 slot in the order behind Fielder. And that one is outside, 2-0 the count. But this season, Ricky, including the games in Milwaukee, they pitched him very effectively. He's 4 of 23 against Arizona. We'll be careful now. 3-0. You've seen this young man for many years. What's his nitro zone? Where do you have to be careful?
He loves the ball. He's a mistake hitter. He's a guy, if you make a mistake in the middle of the plate, he doesn't just single. He hits it a long way. So you just have to stay out of the middle of the plate. You can make your pitches and get Ricky Weeks. But if that wasn't a 3-0 pitch right there, that's his nitro zone. Anywhere in the middle of the plate, and it doesn't matter what pitch. It can be a breaking ball, it can be a fastball, changeup. Anywhere in the middle of the plate, he hammers it.
3-1 the count. Right at the knees.
Right at the knees. Beautiful pitch.
3-2 the count on Weeks. We saw his brother Jamal when the Diamondbacks went to Oakland. The much more slender second baseman, a like athlete, but not the power hitter. Protecting, takes that one out of the catcher's mitt. And while Weeks enjoyed his all-star week, if you will, in Arizona with the home run derby, the workout, and the all-star game, he did invite his brother down, and his brother was with him step by step the entire time. It was neat to see. What a respectful young man Jamal is. 3-2. Scoreless ball game, 3-2. Change up. Strike 3 had him way out front. Fear that red beard that Kennedy has. There you go. How about this pitch?
Well, what a change up after a bunch of fastballs to get to 3-2. Pull the string on the change up, and you can see just how far in front Ricky Weeks was. That's just some great pitching right there. Fear the red beard. This is a little neater and trimmer than Brian Wilson's.
Oh, my goodness.
San Francisco Giants, don't you think?
Seriously, I mean, there's no denying it. Wilson is more like, you know, the folks that have a winter home in Arizona and they leave up to Canada or wherever they live up north. And they leave their shrubs behind and everything, and then they come back for the, you know, like in October, November.
Sure.
Got to get the hedge clippers out. Kind of like about August, what those hedges look like. That's Wilson's beard.
Good point.
1-1 the count.
Oh, beautiful fastball to the outside corner that time to Casey McGee.
But never, by the way, has a beard printed more money than that man's beard.
Here.
Hitless in 5 tries against Kennedy. The pitch is low with a changeup. 2-2 the count. McGee in this series, 4 of 13. He loves this ballpark. That pitch is low. 3-2 the count. And should Milwaukee play in October, this man's going to have to be a part of the march. They need more out of him in the second half. Just off the plate. Ian wanted it. It looked wide. By the way, at the top of the hour, a great thing happened. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, and they just joined us, broadcasting to U.S. Armed Forces serving in 175 countries aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world, just joining us in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome, we're glad you joined us, and thank you so much for your service. Fouled back and down below it goes. As a matter of fact, my old broadcast partner and a friend of yours as well, we were just giving him the business over there. Bill Schroeder, his son Billy, who played baseball at Grand Canyon, like Cody Ransom did down below. His son is serving our country right now. He's over in Afghanistan.
Well, thank you so much to all the brave young men and women, and some of you older folks as well, protecting our rights and our freedoms.
That's a proud dad, isn't it?
Oh,
talking about his boy.
He should be. Any parent of a service person should be awfully proud.
1-1 the count. There were 300 in attendance yesterday that took the oath of honor here yesterday at the ballpark, and it was our honor to witness and cheer and stand and cheer. Betancourt laid on the fastball, up and into the seats it goes. 1-2 the count on Yuniesky Betancourt. He's had a nice series. And just when you think you have Fielder locked up and helpless, you have this guy 5 of 11 with 2 homers.
He's been a wrecking crew. You think, oh, Prince Fielder must be having a big time series, winning 2 out of 3. No, that's not the case. He's 1 for 13 in this series. Yuniesky Betancourt, goodness, got to find a way to retire the modern day Ernie Banks.
Betancourt was the package that came with Zach Greinke. That deal was this past wintertime, and of course Alcides Escobar was the centerpiece in 4 Brewers that went to Kansas City. And with all due respect to Betancourt, it was Kansas City as part of the agreement saying that Milwaukee, you must take Yuniesky Betancourt. He just wasn't the right fit there. A little topper off a curveball. Kennedy, his only play is to fire to Brandon Allen. He does so. Casey McGee moves up into scoring position, but there are 2 outs for Lucroy.
Lucroy got the game-winning hit last night. I'm sorry, not the game-winning hit. He got a big 2-out hit in this situation to give the Brewers a 2-0 lead late in the game off Joe Saunders. And it was in this situation. The pitcher was in the on-deck circle. They decided to pitch to Jonathan Lucroy, and he burned Joe Saunders with a base hit. Zach Greinke is on deck. He can hit a little bit. He's a very good hitter. But Lucroy comes into the game hitting .281. That's a pretty good number 8 hole hitter, if you ask me, Darren.
And he really hits in this situation. He's well over 300 with runners in scoring position. How about 339? Line drive left. Over to make the play out there on the scalded baseball is Gerardo Parra. We roll on. Scored his ball game. Zach Greinke is going to work. Greinke will go to work against Miguel Montero, Jeff Blum, and Brandon Allen. You look back at Greinke, we told you about 2 years ago the start he had. Now let's tell you about the couple that he's had here because they've been interesting. Here at Chase Field back in 08, he walked 7, a career high. He's never walked 7 outside of that game, but it was a 1-0 loss. He pitched very well. He walked those 7, but didn't give up any runs. But then in 05 coming in here, he gave up 11 runs in a ball game, 15 hits in a ball game, and didn't lose it.
I remember that game very well. Kansas City was down a bunch and came from the clouds as he throws strike one past Miguel Montero.
In the end, Kansas City lost the game 12-11, but he gave up 11 in 4 1/3 with 15 hits. He hit a homer in the game, as he's done again this year. He's got 2 in his career, 1 of his 2 against the Diamondbacks in this ballpark. So he has been an interesting study against Arizona. All 3 of his starts have been very eventful. Well, it just gets there quickly, doesn't it?
Just a pretty pitch. He's gone inside a couple of times on Miguel Montero, then he paints the outside corner with a fastball.
That pitch is high. Montero with 9 of his 10 home runs this year against right-handed pitching. 270 overall, but 292 against righties. A slugging percentage of nearly 500 if you're a right-handed pitcher. This isn't your average righty. Let's see. Pitch is low. That was
laid
the slider.
off a good slider there to Montero.
Is there anything tricky about his motion? Let's look, Grayson.
Well, he hides the ball pretty well. He just comes uncoiled.
Well,
just a real, just a real quick arm swing, isn't it?
Hides it really well, actually.
And that's all part of pitching is deception, hiding the baseball.
Fights that one off. What a thing of beauty for Miguel Montero, who a couple of times over the last few days has been caught over swinging. Not that time.
He just finds the fastball there and then just flips it the other way. That's a good job of just recognizing fastball and not trying to do too much with it. Let it travel and just flip it out there to left field. Good stuff.
So now veteran Jeff Blum. Blum, as we mentioned, will see a lot more playing time. He's 1 of 7 with the double since coming back to the big leagues, coming back from knee surgery as the fastball buries inside on Blum. Arizona 3-3 since the All-Star break. Came out of the gates with a solid series win against the Dodgers and hoping to have a series split here tonight against Milwaukee.
7-10.
7-10 split.
Changeup didn't get the call.
That's a strike if caught.
Well, Jonathan Lucroy is very upset with either himself or Marvin Hudson that didn't get called a strike. You can see he's not too happy.
I think it's himself. He's been so dependable as a catcher. He's probably beating himself up a little bit.
Those catchers are prideful, aren't they?
He's been so good blocking pitches. There we go. Right back over the outside. 2-1 the count. Blum has been really steady defensively as a part-time role player the last few years. He's willing and able. Now, how able on a daily basis he is to play up the middle, but he certainly enjoys it, knows how to position himself. He'll be able to help it short when needed. Off the plate.
Another changeup.
Kevin Towers, a couple of things that stand out to me. He met with the media today, and he talked about, first off, that he wore a bright yellow shirt because, to quote the general manager, I wanted to brighten things up. I felt like things were a little dreary. Folks would be down.
That's bright.
I literally chose that shirt to brighten up the office.
Mission accomplished.
And so he made that decision to wear that shirt to brighten things up. It is bright, isn't it? That pitch is low. 3-2 the count. Another good at bat for Blum, who had a big one last night against K-Rod. He also said that the Diamondbacks spent about an extra $500,000 on their AAA payroll for guys
veterans
like Cody Ransom. For guys that
35-year-olds
make a little bit extra money but are dependable and will wait in the wings, as if he knew this would happen. Well, he hoped it wouldn't. But you have to give the general manager credit for the vision that it takes to have some dependable players. You know, you think to yourself in spring training, so why is Willie Bloomquist and Jeff Blum, Ryan Roberts, and Cody Ransom, why are they all here? I mean, if you're on an outsider, you're thinking that, now you know. And that man came from nowhere to make the club. Sean Burroughs, you weren't even really thinking about him in spring training. But Towers, you have to give him some credit for some vision in that area. Bouncing ball, could be two. On a backhand, boy, they turned it pretty. That is a double play.
That's the risk you take when you don't send the runner. You keep that possibility of the double play open, and sure as the world, Jeff Blum just tapped into a tailor-made one. 4, 6, 3.
Here's Brandon Allen. You know, you talk about experience at the helm with Towers, the tenured general managers. You have Dombrowski with 23 years, Andy McPhail in Baltimore with 17, Jocketty with 16, Walt Jocketty in Cincinnati, Mr. Melvin in Milwaukee, Doug Melvin, and Kevin Towers with 15 years of major league experience as a general manager.
A very well respected, a very well liked Kevin Towers amongst his peers. Probably the agent of probably Jose Reyes.
1-2 the count.
No?
I don't think so.
Not buying it? Okay.
Just, I still think he'll surprise us with something. He's done that every year. When his team is within striking distance somewhere, over the top of that one, he surprises you with something. Last night, though, I think surprised and disappointed Kevin and all of us. They've got to move on now. Your local Valley Kia retailers. By texting to vote, fans consent to receive a message from Kia Motors America. Who needs to step up the most? Or you can even change it if you like. Who will, in your mind, to replace Stephen Drew's offense that is missed as Reinke hits a fly ball to right?
One pitch, one out.
Reinke is erased. And so think about that. Who are you looking to do it?
I want you to answer that as well, Darren. What's your answer?
A. Justin Upton, B. Chris Young, C. Miguel Montero, D. Kelly Johnson, 36929. My vote for D. Kelly Johnson.
My vote is going to be C. Miguel Montero. Because I think now he will be thrust into the heart of the order. He will be thrust now somewhere in an RBI spot.
Boy, another solid changeup has Corey Hart out front.
We got a couple of pitchers really throwing the ball well here in the early going. Zach Greinke for the Brewers and Ian Kennedy, both guys just right on top of their game.
Kennedy peers over that glove, rocks and fires, hits it hard. Blum down to a knee. Just fine, thank you very much.
Very nice play. Made a difficult play look pretty easy to Jeff Blum. And then stand up and throw a strike across the diamond. Nicely done.
These guys like Blum and Bloomquist. This is where you give Towers credit as Nigel Morgan digs in. You can talk about Armando Galarraga not working out. You can talk about a couple of the pieces that maybe didn't work. You look at the left side of the infield, there's two that you thank goodness that they're Diamondbacks. And yes, Blum has had to heal, and yes, you wondered when he came back what he would be able to provide, but it was also Kevin Towers, if you think about it, who had a fresh perspective. As that one is into the dirt. Kevin had a fresh perspective on Ryan Roberts that not everyone shared. Roberts went down to the minor leagues, lost his edge last year, and he admitted, I kind of lost my way. Kevin was new to Ryan Roberts, so he looked at him freshly, and because of Kevin, he was invited back to camp. He was given a chance. Kelly Johnson is there, and he makes the play. An 8-pitch inning for Ian Kennedy. Head on out towards section 111 and ask about Kachinko. It's brought to you by Gila River Casinos, an interactive kiosk. There is always a winner. A wonderful time at the ball yard, a wonderful addition to the ball yard, and again, as is our partnership with Gila River Casinos. Make it your lucky day. Gerardo Parra to lead it off. And Parra waves at a fastball that just had that extra gear right by him. Parra at 279 and on base of 342 this season. He's got 23 runs batted in. As the 0-1, he lays off of it that time. A little bit better. I mean, not a struggling hitter against southpaws, but certainly a little bit better. He hits 288 against righties. Slow curveball had him leaking out like a tire that just ran over a nail.
The D-backs Grand Slam giveaway pack includes tickets to the biggest giveaway games, plus 3 guaranteed bobbleheads and the World Championship replica ring. Each pack also comes with a $10 gift card to Circle K. Call 602-462-4786 or visit dbacks.com/Grand Slam.
Good read.
Thank you.
Late swing on a fastball as that one rattles around. The 0-1. Fastball is high. Ian Kennedy, bearing the same name as kind of a cult hero now. Ian, the generous foul ball young man from last night.
Oh, we had a good time with him, didn't we?
Yeah, we certainly did.
What a fine young man, and what a just really cool thing he did for that younger kid last night. Very big league on Ian's part.
2-1 the count. There was a lot of love in the ballpark with foul balls last night, as that one is swung right through. 2-2 the count. This is the key. This young man with a sad gentleman down below realized he dropped it, and he brought it and gave it back to him. Sharing. Yeah, that young man said, hey, you know, have that. Everyone happy sharing the baseball as another foul ball goes up into the seats. But kind of the star among stars was young Ian. And he had realized once he got to his row, earned that baseball fair and square.
Sure.
It was kind of a scrum. It was thrown up. It was dropped. He didn't do anything wrong. Once he realized there was someone heartbroken, he gave it back to someone about his own age.
Here you go, kid.
The 2-2. I know Brad down there. Brad, you spoke with Ian's dad. Is that correct? What's the deal?
That's correct. Spoke with John McMillan today, and obviously he's very proud of his young man, and he saw the coverage last night. And guys, it's gone viral. It's all over the internet right now. A lot of people kind of rejoicing the fact that that was the right thing to do, but also getting a lot of interest from local TV stations, and the D-backs are fielding all kinds of requests. They want to know more about Ian, and look for him in the next little while to get a little more publicity. You know, you do the right thing, and good things come your way.
Well, I do know that Jimmy did a nice job catching that. I do know that we gave him a contract, Brad and Gracie. We gave him a contract
and signed back.
I hope he looks very closely at that contract because we're now his agents as well.
It's true.
Yeah, he does. We get a cut of his publicity there. Yeah, very happy young man. He had a couple of his baseball teammates there. He plays for the Scottsdale Dirtbags.
Hey!
Wanted to make sure to get that in. And he was thrilled, believe me. He and his buddies had a great time, and so did little Nicholas. He was there with his mom, but
that's
just
awesome.
A great story all around. And who knows? I'm hearing some rumors he may be invited to maybe come back to the ballpark soon, not only to see the game, but to do some other things. So stay tuned for that.
Well, we're excited about that. He's a good young man, 2-0 the count. Maybe we'll bring him on the trip to D.C. in August. He can go to the White House.
I think that's certainly
why not?
in the realm of possibility.
I mean, I know the boss has big plans for him.
I'm sure President Obama would love to chew the fat with Ian.
Derek Hall has big plans. We're going to have to sit tight and see what happens. But we're just in our own little corner of Ian's world. We're proud we were able to catch it and see an act of kindness. 2-1 the count. That one is fouled off. Willie Bloomquist single. He's one of 2 hits against Zach Greinke. Now, he picked on a curveball, and it was in a similar situation. A slow curveball. Willie, on this homestand, 7 hits and 18 at bats. Feeling it again. And taking a pitch like that, you know you're feeling better about yourself.
Well, Zach Greinke's got that. He's got the slider that he can throw for a strike, and he's got that put-away slider. He tried the put-away slider that time, and Bloomquist wasn't biting.
4 strikeouts so far. A slider, left it out over the plate. The throw in time. Bloomquist has erased. He has faced 1 over the minimum. Trivia question. Who are the 3 active pitchers with home runs in both leagues? They have hit home runs in both leagues. Ooh, that's a good question. I think that 2 of them at one point in their careers or another were Brewers.
One's got to be Zach Greinke, because you mentioned it earlier.
Well,
he homered as a Royal and he homered as a Brewer.
There's another one that kind of jumps into my head. I'm not sure if I'm right, because I think in 2008 this pitcher did everything, including adding another deck to Miller Park.
CC Sabathia?
I think CC. Because didn't he almost hit one out, or did he hit one out of Dodger Stadium? And that was an interleague play that he did that. But he homered as a Brewer as well. 1-1 the count. That's a fun question.
Well, how about your dad? He pitched in both leagues for a long time. Don Sutton. Oh, it's active.
Well, I wish he was. I'd still be on that payment plan I used to be on when I was young.
How bad?
Hand out. 2-1 the count to Ryan Braun.
Vida Blue was a good hitter in both leagues. Vida Blue.
Right, Vida's not active, though. He's been retired for years.
He's not?
2-2 the count.
Well, you could hit, though.
I'm trying to think of good athletes. It's a very good question.
That's hard to when you're thinking of pitchers.
Yeah, you have to do it in a brief window in interleague play when you're an American leaguer and hitting one. How about Bronson Arroyo?
Not a bad guess. What about Carlos Zambrano?
But he played for the American League. Just the Cubs, right? 2-2 the count. Change up. And the count is 3-2 as that one misses low. What about Livan Hernandez?
Ooh. Good try.
Kennedy is allowed just the one hit. High fly ball right field. That was a changeup, and it was up a bit, but Braun didn't square it up. That's twice he has felt like he has been on baseballs, but hasn't.
He waits just a shade too long on this change up, and he gets it right off the label, and just an easy fly ball to right field. And every time this guy steps into the box, I'm thinking, is this going to be the at-bat that he breaks out? Because he doesn't have many series like this, folks.
Huge shift defensively. He takes a changeup that dives low. He continues to hear it from the Chase Field crowd with regard to the non-Upton selection in the home run derby. And that one is low. 2-0 the count, and it honestly, folks, doesn't faze him one bit. The cat calls in the boos. It makes him better. Home runs, RBIs, on base. He's walked more than he has struck out. Not bad in a walk year for Prince Fielder. Hard ground ball. There was a shift on. Otherwise, that's a base hit.
Just a 2-0 fastball right down the middle, and Prince Fielder hit it hard, but hit it on the ground right at Willie Bloomquist, who, that's the shortstop, folks. Right at him. So a badge of courage there for Ian Kennedy, just challenging the big fella and getting away with it. Prince starting to get a little ticked off.
No, there's no doubt about that. Manageable. He has been very effective with his pitches. Here is Ricky Weeks. Off the end of the bat. That's a change up there. Funky. That ball's got a big old slice and a cut on it. When you hit a baseball off the end of the bat, you put a steak knife hole in it.
Looks like that'll look like a Mike Scott fastball by the time that thing. Look at that big old scuff on it.
Ian on the hand.
After a changeup He just buries a fastball right in on the belly button of Ricky Weeks and just hurt his feelings.
I read a great interview with Chili Davis the other day.
One of my favorite people in baseball.
Transcript of an interview on the statistical website Fangraphs, but they interviewed Chili, and it was a wonderful interview. He was talking about Mike Scott. Exactly what you're talking about, the 0-2. Fouled off.
You know what we haven't seen tonight? I'm sorry I interrupted your story. Go ahead.
Now, he basically said you could, at some point, hear the ball going by from Mr. Scott.
Oh, yeah, you could hear the rubber bands clapping in the breeze.
0-2 the count.
Tommy John.
Bouncing ball out to short.
That might have been the first curveball he's thrown tonight, Dan.
Yeah,
you remember many others?
Nope, 1 or 2. He is just 2 past the minimum through 4. We've got an old-fashioned duel. Back of the ball yard, the 3 active pitchers with home runs. Josh Beckett with the Marlins then, so he was homered as a Boston Red Sox. In 06, he homered as a member of the Boston Red Sox at Philly. Not surprised, good athlete, but
yeah, didn't think he was a home run hitter.
One of the better questions of the year. Well done.
I agree.
1-0 the count.
My next guess is that was driven to left center.
Kelly drives it. Did he get enough of it? Braun going back. Bangs against the wall, and he makes the play. Kelly with the right approach. He let that ball travel, and he hammered it.
Nice play by Ryan Braun. He takes a one last peek, makes the play, bangs into the back of the fence. One long, loud out. Nice play.
Zach has given up 11 home runs this year, so the oohs and the ahs from Greinke have not been very prevalent. Now, that's in 14 starts.
That's not bad.
Started the year on the disabled list. Justin Upton. Slow curveball, good take.
On that pitcher's home run question, my next guess was going to be Joe Borowski, our own Joe Borowski.
Boy, that would have been a really awful guess.
Well, he pitched in both leagues.
I understand. Pitch is low, 2-0 the count.
I have to ask Joe if he was a good hitter or not. He's right here in the booth with us. Joe, were you a good hitter?
2 for 13, he says. Both of them homers, one in each league.
Yeah, I can imagine. Ding.
3-0 the count to Justin Upton, and it all started with Upton taking that slow curveball. He almost fell over when he took it, but he took it. 3-0 swinging, and he belts it. Deep left center field. Get onto that balcony. Out of here. Arizona. Home run number 16 for the All-Star. That's what you do with a 3-0 green light. $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Fastball middle, fastball killed. Justin Upton knows he got it. That ball was just lined way out of here to center field. Plenty of room to spare.
Well, I called for it to get up on the balcony. It cleared the house.
It listened well, didn't it?
I mean, that was nowhere near to barely getting up there. That ball was smoked well above the seats and what we affectionately call the balcony. It is rolled over. Inieski Betancourt turns it into an out. Well, we talked coming on the air.
Well, I had said in that little poll that we took, A, B, C, or D. Remember, I said Justin Upton was the guy that I thought would pick up the slack offensively for Stephen Drew, and I'm glad he made me look good.
Well, you actually said this guy, Miguel Montero, and for those of you just joining us, Gracie's not telling the truth. He thought he might slide it by for our new viewing audience. You know, a lot of people out walking the dog, coming home from work. He said, "See Miguel Montero." We kind of already expect what Justin Upton is doing. That's probably unfair, but you do. And Chris Young has been hot for 2 months. Miguel drives it deep left field. Did you say Miguel Montero? You're right. Boy, what a beautiful approach, driving it to left. The Fulton Holmes homer 2 times now. $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Well, when Miguel Montero is right, he's driving the ball to left center field, and that's exactly what he does. Uh-oh, Justin Upton, come on, get up. Get up. It listens well. Zach Greinke, golly. That's 2 home runs this inning, Darren, and then 1 just missed from Kelly Johnson as well to left center field. So Zach Greinke's gotten touched up a long, long ways. Kelly Johnson. So most of the fans agreeing with you, Darren, which, well, it's worrisome.
Well, the way it's worded, you know, the way it is worded is the word need is in there. And I think the folks know that there's a lot left with Kelly Johnson.
Sure.
And I think more than anything is that slow curveball is dropped in. And I think maybe batting average wise, there's a lot left. He doesn't have to hit 320 this year, but I think people thinking he'll end up around 250 or more. And if he does, that means that's a hot end of the year.
That's exactly right.
Boy, Arizona hitting 3-0 to go back to Upton. Into the dirt it goes. Arizona, they have the most 3-0 hits in Major League Baseball this year. On 3-0, when a ball is put in play to make it in at bat, they're 8 for 12 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. They do it more than anybody else.
That doesn't count foul balls or swings and misses.
That one is a high fly right field.
He just missed it. Just missed it.
And St. Louis, Florida, and Arizona, the biggest 3-0 swinging clubs. But Arizona, 8 of 12, a couple of homers. There's a 3-0 homer. And also a catcher who somebody a moment ago said would get hot. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. Good to see Justin Upton leaning on one. Loves the 3-0 green light. And more than anything, I would imagine loves having the opportunity to touch up a man who's considered to be an ace.
Certainly.
And that man, too, the other way. That one lifted left field. That was a changeup, so you got to really generate your own power, and he couldn't do it. It was away, and he tried to pull it.
He got it right just off the end of the bat enough to make it a lazy fly ball. Easy out for Gerardo Parra. Ian Kennedy just in complete command right now.
You know, we talk about Greinke considered an ace, and deservedly so. He's won a Cy Young Award, and that you win a Cy Young Award, you wear that title of ace for quite some time.
Well, for me, the rest of your life.
But Kennedy pitching like an ace tonight. Line drive, center field, and that one is fought off by the big series. Finally awakened Yuniesky Betancourt. Trying to make a statement to his club that he belongs on the roster. This is what we're talking about. 2 long balls, and that's the difference in the ball game. I think he hasn't walked anyone. He's been good for his minimum of a strikeout per inning. Kennedy has rolled up 9 double plays. That one's called high, I guess.
Somehow.
Ian swings a little bit closer to being a fly ball pitcher than a ground ball pitcher. But it's not a heavy, dramatic swing. He's striking out more this year than he ever has in any other time during his career. Yeah, you talk about Greinke as a 9, almost a 10 strikeout per 9 innings. Ian's close to being about 7 or 8 strikeouts per 9 innings.
I call them sneaky strikeouts. At the end of the day, you're like, well, he pitched to contact. You know, he got a lot of ground balls, a lot of fly balls, and at the end of the day, he's got 9 strikeouts. Whoa, really? Kind of sneaky strikeouts, if you ask me.
And the key is the walks. The lower total this year, Kennedy is 3-1 in a strikeout to walk ratio. He's just developing, and he's still developing. That's the positive for the Diamondbacks, into a really solid major league pitcher. A good pitch. That one just a little low and inside. Ian was drafted out of high school by the Cardinals. Right there. Opted not to sign. He went to La Quinta High School in Southern California. Cardinals drafted him. 14th round pick, so, a respectable pick. Opted to go to USC, where he pitched himself into the first round in 2006 and was a Yankees first round pick. 21st pick overall. Just enough. How long does it hang up? Might be a little frustrating because he didn't square that ball up at all, but he made contact.
Well, Darren, folks at home, do you need back-to-school items for your kids? No, come to this Sunday's game against the Rockies. The first 5,000 Rascals will get a lunch cooler, courtesy of Smile Generation. Call 602-462-4790 or visit dbacks.com/homestand for tickets.
Yuniesky Betancourt was following the ball, and then the bag jumped up and got him.
Ow.
Boy, that could have been really bad. I mean, he
could have gotten ugly.
Fortunately, he is all right. Been enough sadness in both clubhouses.
Carnage.
Both clubhouses losing players for the year. Yeah, he definitely pulled it back, but it was called a strike to Zach Greinke. 3 sacrifice bunts this year. 2 career home runs, as we mentioned, 5 of 21 this season. Jeff Blum with a full set of signs on the bunt defense. Brandon Allen will sneak in behind and let Ian Kennedy know where to go. In other words, is Blum staying at third or is he charging? When that happens, those signs come from Matt Williams, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Jeff Blum will peek in. Now Matt Williams gives him the sign. Do it again. Okay. Now he gives the sign to the infielders. Okay. This is what we've got going. We're going to play it either regular or we may put a wheel play on. That's semi-complicated, and I know you folks at home, it's just a couple of different bump plays that you can use. I'll explain as we move on. Good bunt.
Kennedy has it die, turns it into a nice play. He was waiting for it to get to him in the grass, reaching up and grabbing it. So it was a good bunt. There are 2 outs. And when you have bunt defenses, we saw it happen last night. There was a balk. Roberts was trying to give the signal. What he did was he went in and he told the pitcher where the pitcher was going, but didn't tell anybody else in the infield. It can get fast on you, the game, right?
Exactly. And so Matt Williams had to re-give the sign. Then Matt said Ryan gave the wrong sign, so they had to do it all over again. Meanwhile, young Mr. Shaw's out there in his major league debut in a jam. And all this, okay, hold on, let's do this. I'm sorry, Cook, not Shaw. Brian Shaw was not in the game.
Yeah, Ryan Cook was. Ended up balking. And it just got ugly. That's a foul ball.
So, yeah, sometimes close games, extra inning games, the game can start moving real fast on you. Especially if you get to thinking about other things. You're maybe worried about the at-bat you had in the 9th inning.
Yeah, he did have an empty at-bat with the runner on third. I'm sure he was frustrated. That's human nature.
Absolutely. He was disgusted with himself, and admittedly so. We've all been there.
The 1-1. Change up. Got underneath that one. It flutters high. 2-1 the count. I asked Matt after you guys had the conversation about that, did he learn from it? He said, I think so. And then he paused, and as he walked away, he said, I hope so. Because in those situations, should Arizona stay in this race, there'll be a lot more pressure.
Oh, big time. Oh, beautiful change up, strike 2.
On 2-1 as well. Imagine if Arizona late in the year is playing, let's say, in San Francisco, and there's a tie in the race, or they're 1 game back, and there's a bunt defense in the 9th inning.
If the game's moving real fast on July 22nd, oh, it's going to move a lot faster on September 22nd. Trust me.
And we all hope we get to see that, don't we, folks?
Right.
That looked like a Nolan Ryan fastball after that changeup before. And it was still, here's the thing, again, you talk about the sneakiness. That was still 93. And Kennedy stands about 6 feet tall, but he can generate velocity.
He took his time between pitches. Now he's taking his time again. And I think usually when you take a long time between pitches, that is usually to try to gear yourself up for your best fastball of the night. Let's see if Ian Kennedy wants the fastball.
The 2-2.
He threw it. He threw it hard, but he overthrew it.
Ended up pulling it a bit.
As a former hitter, I learned that about pitchers. When, a big situation when a guy, he walks around the mound a little bit and you see him take deep breaths, it's usually because he's trying to gear himself up to throw this thing right by you.
Base open. Does he throw a changeup? He did. And it's in the dirt, and it's ball 4. Now, Kennedy, I think, will tell you that at-bat was lost on the pitch before.
I agree with you. And he wanted Hart in that situation. He didn't want to mess with Nigel Morgan. Nigel Morgan's a guy coming into the game hitting .333. He's gotten a base hit. He's also hit the ball hard to second base for an out. He's also a tough route than Corey Hart. One of those guys that makes contact. He's got speed. If he hits a soft ground ball somewhere, he can beat it out. And he had Corey Hart 2-2 and had him set up. He just missed badly with a couple of pitches and walked him.
And Hart's more that big bumblebee that you shoo away and he flies away. Morgan's just that little gnat that just won't go away and you can't catch him. Just irritant.
At night, he kind of dive bombs you in the middle of your sleep.
Here he goes. Fastball called high. 1-0 the count. Remember, Kennedy went through this in his last outing where he just lost the zone for a while. Just literally lost the strikes and then pieced it together after a visit from Charles Nagy.
2-0.
He can't go for it now, though, and he can't afford to. Nagy's easing to that top step. Nagy came out, had a conversation with the man on the mound in that outing against the Dodgers, and immediately he snapped right back into shape. And he got Andre Ethier to get out of a big mess.
Well, pitch of the evening right here, 2-0. Can he execute it? We'll find out. He did.
2-1 the count. Well, that was great. Kennedy was ready to go right away. The 2-1. Beat him with a fastball.
93 miles an hour on the fastball. Very firm, well-placed fastball right on the outer third. Strike two. Now he's got him set up for the changeup if he wants to throw it, Darren. He's got Nyjer Morgan sped up. Let's see if he can throw the well-executed changeup.
On 2-2. Curveball called high. He threw him a curveball. It was a shorter breaker than he usually throws, but it was called up. Runners off to the races. Does he throw a 3-2 change? High fly ball on a fastball. Tracking it is Young. Chris Young. He's got room. Kennedy works out of it. On the Brewers side, somebody might want to get Nyjer Morgan his glove. Strikeout the pitch before with the curveball. Ends up getting him with a fastball, and that's about all Nyjer Morgan has right there.
He's asking the home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson, was it up?
And he meant the pitch before, right?
Yes. Did you have it up? And I would imagine Marvin Hudson told him, yeah, I had it up. And I think that was a look of, well, I didn't think it was up. It was. You don't get that breaking ball called up in that spot very often, do you, Darren?
No, if it drops 6 more inches, it's a strike. High curveballs, for some reason, just aren't appealing to umpires. And Ian will tell you when he sees the replay of the pitch, he usually gets a lot more dip and dive on that pitch. I think he just threw it as hard as he could. 0-2 the count to Brandon Allen. My goodness, what a slider. 1-2 the count. Couple of long balls for the Diamondbacks. We talk about Harvey's wall bangers and the slug and brew crew. It's very interesting when we say that. That one is just fouled off and out. You got a piece of Lucroy.
Let's see where this one gets Jonathan. Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, all you men at home. Did we really have to show that again?
Oh, boy.
Jonathan Lucroy. Every man watching, just go ahead and burn a candle for Jonathan Lucroy. And take a deep breath.
That cold sweat comes over your brow. Starts pouring down your cheeks. 1-2 the count.
Oh, my goodness.
2-2 the count. A lot of times we'll say, hey, if you want to
be
know,
a catcher, huh?
We'll say if you want to know what that feels like to throw a ball this far, to foul a ball off your foot, do this at home. No advice on that one. Just watch the game.
None.
No, who wants to know what that feels like, by the way? No one. 2-2 the count. And all you youngsters out there, all you young baseball players out there, and your mom and your dad, make sure they go to get you set for that gear and that protective cup. You wear it.
Wear it.
You wear it.
I don't watch a game on TV without a protective cup.
Ask Mr. Lucroy how thankful he is, and it's still uncomfortable. 2-2 the count. Into the catcher's mitt it goes. So again, re-educate us on Greinke. In a lot of your national games, you've had him for years. There's just a little less on that fastball now because that was 93.
That was 93, and that's been his top fastball tonight. He's been 93, maybe 94, but in his Royals days, he could run it up there to 96, even 97 sometimes. And that slider was just a little bit harder. And you had to cheat to get to that fastball a little quicker, and that made the slider even more devastating. Great command tonight as well. No walks with those 5 strikeouts.
Slow curveball that he dumps in there. CenturyLink high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Look at that. Same velocity readings with regard to high, as that one is fouled off. In 2007, Zach Greinke's average fastball was 94 miles an hour, average. This year, it's just a tick over 92 miles an hour. Now, that's average. That doesn't mean he doesn't throw harder.
But that's a foot less on your fastball. Man, he just carved up Gerardo Parra on 3 pitches.
And oh, by the way, Mr. Lucroy, who just had an uncomfortable moment, ready to go back to work, blocked that up nicely.
Stuck his nose right down in the dirt and blocked it up nicely.
Here's Ian Kennedy. Fans calling Ian Redbeard earlier tonight.
I saw that. And fear it. Fear the red beard.
We want to send a shout out to our statistician Kurt Zacher, who
how is our man Kurt Zacher?
He's healing. He's under the weather right now, watching us from the hospital. We just want him to get better. Diving play by Casey McGee on across.
Get better, Kurt. We're missing you.
We miss you here.
Scott Snyder is no Kurt Zacher.
Oh my goodness, he's terrible. summary, taking a ride. Glad to have you back with us. Oh, Justin, on a 3-0 swing. Arizona's 109th home run of the season. There is number 110. 2-0 is the score. And Ian Kennedy has been right there trying to match up with Zach Greinke. And with those 2 runs, he got a little bit better. Chase with a changeup up in the zone to Prince Fielder. He has gotten out of a couple of messes, including in the last inning, leaving the bases loaded. 2-0 is the score, and you talk about home runs. We were saying that a moment ago. Harvey's wallbangers, whatever you'd like to call these slugging Milwaukee Brewers, they've homered 112 times. They lead the National League. Arizona now only 2 behind. Only 2 behind.
Well, you thought that the Diamondbacks would lose a lot of offense, and Mark Reynolds and Adam LaRoche being gone. That's a lot of home runs that are no longer in this lineup. However, they're still hitting them.
There's a lot.
They're hitting a lot of them.
There's a lot of 13, 15, 10,
Exactly.
16s. There's a lot of those. You have Kelly and Miguel and Roberts, Upton and Young. A team home run list, and I think a lot of people would still be surprised when they see that. Now here's one of those moments we'll remember in the ball game. We'll talk about Kennedy working through Braun, Fielder, and Weeks at this point in the game, or maybe the game changes. And it's a 3rd time through for these guys.
These are the game changers. Braun, Fielder, Weeks, all 3 voted in as starters in the All-Star game. All 3. Now step right up, Ian Kennedy.
Outside, 3-0 the count. Well, that's kudos to that man. What a credit it is that he is able to adjust.
He's going to have to come back from 3-0 here. Taken all the way, strike 1.
Braun flied to left field. He flied to right field. Kennedy has gone 7 or more innings in 11 of his 20 starts. That's kind of the goal for Ian. He's at 83 pitches. Shot into right center field. That will roll all the way into that triangle. It's played by Young. Braun still healing with that calf. Stops with a double. And for Ryan Braun, that is yet another. That is 22 doubles on the season. And that ball was tattooed.
Oh, when you fall behind Ryan Braun and have to throw him a fastball in the middle of the plate, you're asking for it, and that's exactly what happens. Braun just rifles it into right center field. Beautiful swing. Beautiful result. And the game changers certainly are going to make life tough on Ian Kennedy here in the top of the 6th inning.
And now that guy, Prince Fielder, who has been held down in this series.
Big time.
To the point where you're concerned. Just understanding the numbers in baseball. He is 0 for 2 today. He is 1 of 14 on this series.
He's going to break out of it, and he's going to break out of it in a big, big way. You hope it waits 2 more at bats. Gas.
1-1 the count on Fielder.
Big swing and a miss. He is trying to tie the ball game up right here. Power on power. And that one got by the big fella.
Fielder's first long ball in his career was the 25th day of June 2005 against the Twins' Jesse Crain. Ricky Weeks hit his first big league home run on the very same day. He's on deck. Ian. Curveball. 1-2.
Haven't seen too many of them tonight, but that was a thing of beauty. Slow curveball. Big Prince Fielder just cannot wait long enough. Over the top of it he goes. Strike 2. Beautiful pitch.
Out of high school, Fielder had committed to go to Arizona State if he hadn't have signed with the Brewers. The 1-2. Fastball sails out of there. 2-2 the count. Back of the box, slightly open stance, that baggy uniform. Chases up and away. Fielder is done. Strike 3. And his quiet series continues.
Got him to chase another pitch up and out. Way up and way outside. But Prince cannot lay off. Starting to get a little bit over anxious now as Big Prince Fielder. He was looking for a changeup and just tried to foul that one off. Huge out against one of the more productive hitters in all of baseball, Prince Fielder.
When you start doing the math, thinking, do you have to face him one more time?
The answer is yes. You will.
Here is Ricky Weeks. There's just one out. Braun is in scoring position at second base. Ricky takes a changeup that is low. Ricky not drafted out of high school in Florida. 2 teams offered him a chance to play baseball. George Washington and Southern University, a predominantly African-American school in Baton Rouge. He went to Southern. Right there.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a changeup. What was that?
A cut fastball to grab the inside corner. He got on top of it so far, it was deceiving. By the time Weeks left Southern University, he had won the Golden Spikes. Stunning in a small school like that.
The best amateur player in the country.
Hot shot. There is Willie Bloomquist. Clutch play in defense of himself.
I think that ball was knuckling on him. Man, you could see Willie Bloomquist blinking his eyes, thinking, man, I almost got this one right in the chops. 2 huge outs. Yeah, get that glove up so it doesn't hit you in the nose there, Willie.
So the former Golden Spikes winner is erased. Trevor Bauer just won that award. Diamondbacks draft pick, first round pick out of UCLA, just won it.
Can't have a mental letdown now if you're Ian Kennedy. Good fastball to the inside corner.
No indications yet with a pitch like that. McGee against Arizona in his career has 29 hits in 17 games.
You're done with the All-Stars now, Ian Kennedy, but now you got to take care of Casey McGee. You have to pitch him just as tough as you pitch the All-Stars.
Curveball is outside, and those 29 hits, that's a .468 average with 6 home runs. 6 in those 17 games. That grip is for the changeup. When he spreads those fingers wide, the ball goes between the middle finger and the ring finger. Then he'll adjust it if he needs to. Over the outside. He's going to that cut fastball now. He hasn't used it at all tonight.
Well, he placed that one right on the outside corner as well. Beautiful pitch.
Cut fastball thrown like a fastball.
Like to see the crowd get behind Ian here. Come on, folks.
The 1-2 to Casey McGee. That one is fouled off. And the cut fastball thrown just like a fastball. You hold the ball a bit off center with pressure on the middle finger. That has the ball running away from a right-handed hitter. I know we say things a lot. We have to remind ourselves. A lot of folks are new baseball fans, casual fans.
Get behind Ian Kennedy at home, folks. Get behind him.
Off your couch, the 1-2. What good pitch. That's a straight fastball. That's one of those best fastballs of the night you were talking about.
He threw it hard.
Ian beat the Dodgers last time out. Went 7 innings. His pitch count's climbing this inning. He's had to work. He's almost at 100. Montero will talk about it, and you hope that he can get to it in the next few pitches, and then he's got one more inning. With the bullpen that might need a break and maybe just adding 2 to the ball game. Changeup. Elbow down, pitch number 98. 3-2 the count. The right-hander on the 3-2. A changeup fluttered in there like a knuckleball, and McGee just flat out missed it. A leadoff double to Ryan Braun. He struck out Fielder. He lined out Weeks, and Mr. McGee, you're done. Today's game. Receive a coupon for huge savings, fries, fresh food, famous low prices. Kia Motors. To learn more, visit phxkia.com. What a job by Ian Kennedy as he reaches close and touches that 100 pitch mark. Got right out of the mess, and I would imagine at 100, there's more in the gas tank. You hope one more inning. One more real efficient inning for Kennedy. They're starting to move around in that bullpen. Meantime, now Bloomquist and his mates hoping to add on. Give a little more padding for Kennedy and his pen. Last inning, a 1-2-3 inning. It was Allen, Parra, Kennedy. Strikeout, strikeout, ground out. That one is blocked up. 1-2 the count to Willie Bloomquist. Greinke last outing in Colorado went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, none of them earned. His team won the ball game, and his team has won the ball game a lot. Despite a 5 ERA, his team's 10-4 in his starts.
Follow the D-backs with MLB.com at Bat 11 for your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, or your BlackBerry. Live audio, video highlights, and much more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details. It's a big league app.
The 1-2. Pitch is low, 2-2 the count. Willie, a long-time Seattle Mariner, drafted out of ASU, was hearkening back to his Sun Devil days before the game. Bouncing ball out to short. Little double clutch. Boy, he just got it. Willie never goes less than 100%, and it almost earned him a base hit there.
Willie's busting it, and then he couldn't get it out of his glove, and it was just enough to get a flying Willie Bloomquist. Almost got an infield base hit there. Close play at first base. One thing you know, and you know about Willie Bloomquist, Darren Sutton, he's always going to give you more than 100%. And anybody that thinks differently is flat out wrong.
Well, and the funny thing about Willie, he'll tell you, I know I'm I'm not young anymore. I know I'm a utility player and have been for a majority of my career, so the talent level's not there in comparison to elite top round draft picks. But he will follow it up by saying the effort level's always there. 0-2 the count on Kelly Johnson, and he relishes this opportunity now.
One thing he's got a lot of: integrity.
The 0-2.
Boy, that one just missed. Comebacker. Remember Brandon Webb used to throw that comebacker all the time?
I do, but his was about 88, 89. He threw it a lot.
Came right back with it, missed with it again. He wanted it, but that was clearly inside.
2-2 the count on Kelly Johnson, with Upton waiting on deck. The 2009 Cy Young Award winner deals it, and Kelly again goes the other way with something on it. Braun ends up 2 steps onto the track and is there to put it away. Justin Upton on a 3-0 count back in the 4th inning unloaded and really set a tone for the inning. And for Justin, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning, cool play of the game. He had been slip sliding away. He had gone 4 home games and an 0-for-15 skid. Since then, in his last 2+ games,
he's perked up.
5 for 9.
Ooh, boy, he just reared back and threw a fastball right past Justin Upton. Zach Greinke. He's still going strong, folks.
Our Geico quote from the movie Major League, Harry Doyle. And of course, Bob Uecker playing that role. Just a reminder, coming up is our Die Hard night here at the stadium. Free admission to anyone who actually was alive the last time the Indians won a pennant. It's always a pleasure to see Mr. Uecker, and a lot of you folks see him around the valley.
Looks dapper tonight, doesn't he?
It's a travel day, and he knows on a travel day he goes old school, wears the shirt and the tie and the sport coat, always looks sharp. Yuniesky Betancourt against Ian Kennedy.
Let's travel night.
That's true, it is a travel night. That pitch is low, 1-0 the count.
Didn't give him a day game.
Diamondbacks fortunate enough to have a getaway day game leaving Milwaukee. We need those Brewers fresh and rested. We need, as soon as Prince breaks out of it, we hope it's in San Francisco.
They're going up to San Francisco. Probably should get in about 3.
No, they won't, will they? Well, maybe.
Well, you never know what's going to happen here.
That pitch is low. 2-1 the count. So the Brewers, if you think that Ian got through the tough part with the meat of the order, there's 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the last couple of ball games. Oh, ouch! That one is fouled off. That's painful. They've been painful. I mean, that's real. 14 of 33 with a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. Two and two the count. And that's where we are in the order, by the way.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Betancourt, Lucroy, and then most likely a pinch hitter, although Zach Greinke's throwing the ball beautifully. He's got a helmet on. I would imagine it'll depend on the situation as it now goes to 3 and 2 on Yuniesky Betancourt.
Action in the bullpen. Looks like Shaw. Bouncing ball. Willie.
He just challenged him. Got away with it. Here it is. I'm not going to walk you on 3 and 2.
He can't hit a 3-run homer.
No, he absolutely cannot. And I think Kennedy has learned a lot of lessons like that this year from guys like J.J. Putz, guys like Joe Saunders. You know what? I'm not walking you. If you hit it in the seats, you hit it in the seats, but I'm not walking you. And just got an easy ground ball to shortstop.
So now Jonathan Lucroy. Singled. He is also lined to left field. And he takes a pitch that darts the inside corner with some movement against a young man out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Played at Louisiana Lafayette collegiately. Curveball. Kind of on the side of that one. Pulled it outside. Zach Greinke still on deck for now. You're out there working on your craft, you're blocking baseballs. He had to have surgery on a broken right pinky finger this past February, just working on blocking drills. That changeup is outside.
And I would imagine if Ian Kennedy retires Jonathan Lucroy in this situation, I would imagine Greinke going to hit for himself.
LaTroy Hawkins is warming if they need to make a decision.
If Lucroy reaches, I would imagine they're going to hit for him.
Popped up, Upton. He's got a beat, and he puts it away. 2 outs in the inning. So now Zach Greinke to go to work. I'll tell you, Kennedy.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Very efficient. 109. Greinke's still in there. He's been just as much, if not more so. He's thrown 88 pitches.
Well, also, Greinke can hit. So they're going to let him hit for himself. Gas.
Excellent.
Just so impressive.
Excellent athlete, Greinke. Excellent tennis player as a young man.
Supposed to be a heck of a golfer, too.
Incredible golfer. Just a good athlete. Just a gifted athlete. Kennedy. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count.
All right, come on, folks. Let's get behind Ian Kennedy here. Folks. Folks.
The 0-2. Pitch is high. 1-2 the count. These are his final pitches of the night. One and two the count. Kennedy wheels and deals. A little chopper, and it's fouled off. So we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Come on, folks. Starting to make some noise. Come on, folks. Yeah, fear the red beard.
High fly ball into left center field. Chasing, still going. Parr, he got it. Gerardo Parr runs that one down. What an outing tonight by Ian Kennedy. Against the dangerous Milwaukee Brewers, he has tossed 7 shutout innings.
order. But what did you learn about him in the fifth? Bases loaded, 2-0 to Morgan.
Todd, one thing's for sure. With each start, we continue to see Ian Kennedy mature as a pitcher. I'll break down his outing, especially that fifth inning, and show you just how dominant he was.
I often wonder what Mark Grace thinks when we're always talking about pitching.
It's all about the pitcher.
Pitching. Okay, Mark, Darren. CenturyLink is on deck after this game. Todd and Joe. Joe, in the sixth inning, we saw Ian Kennedy get through the heart of the order. But what did you learn about him in the fifth? Bases loaded, 2-0 to Morgan.
Todd, one thing's for sure. With each start, we continue to see Ian Kennedy mature as a pitcher. I'll break down his outing, especially that fifth inning, and show you just how dominant he was.
I often wonder what Mark Grace thinks when we're always talking about pitching.
It's all about the pitcher.
Pitching. Okay, Mark, Darren.
I'll let you have the floor.
I can't wait to talk about Justin Upton and Miguel Montero's home runs. But Ian Kennedy, it's tough not to talk about what another great job he did tonight. 7 more shutout innings. What do you expect of your ace when you got a 2-game losing streak going?
Well, you also hope that your ace can do that. Let's take it a step further. On the day following what could have been kind of a ship sinking kind of night for an organization.
Very well said.
That's really what an ace does. All right, there's no all-star caliber shortstop anymore. We understand that. We think about him. We miss him.
And we wish him well. And if he happens to be watching, with probably a lot of morphine in him, we're thinking about you and your family as well.
1-1 the count. Slow curveball, high fly into left center field. Don't forget, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase, 4 to 6 the following day, and that would be good news. Here's Miguel Montero. Wow, inside corner, 0-1 the count. They play Montero really to pull in the infield, yet the outfield a step or two the other way. As Ian relives an outing like that one. He'd love to go back out, just the pitch total. It's handcuffed him. He's at about what? He went to about 111, I think.
Just another classic Ian Kennedy ball game. Tested a couple times, came through and with flying colors. Oh dear. Brian Runge says, yes, you did, Miguel Montero.
1-2 the count.
And Brian Runge would be right. He did go around.
That time he didn't. That was a slider into the dirt. 2-2 the count. This homestand rolls on. We hope to see you over the weekend. A lot of fun with the Colorado Rockies coming to town. And a chance to take on a divisional foe.
And a chance to put somebody in your rearview mirror in the Western Division.
You bet. You bet. You take 2 of 3 as you did with the Dodgers. Better said, you sweep. Start with 2 of 3 with regard to looking ahead. Sunday is to be determined. It is Cook, Hamill, and Jimenez. Hudson, Colementor, and the Shadow Nose. swing and a miss. There's that slider.
Darren, how does this guy have an ERA way over 5?
Now
the stuff I'm watching is really, really good. You telling me that slider can have an ERA of way over 5?
I mean, Greinke has been perfect since giving up the homers in the 4th inning. Perfect.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, this is kind of fun to watch.
It has been 9 in a row. It is fun when you have a pitcher pitch better.
Exactly.
That's what makes it
fun. Yeah, it's no fun if you're down 5-2 right now. But I'm telling you, this guy is impressive tonight.
Slow curveball misses outside. Well, when they went and got him, this is what they were expecting. Boy, this is a wonderful opportunity, and walking in some heady company for Brian Shaw because of the usage of the bullpen with Puts on the mend. Fly ball, late break. Boy, that was misplayed.
Jeff Blum says thank you very much. Nigel Morgan got a very late break on that ball, and it cost him. He's disgusted with himself right now. That's just a free base hit right there for Jeff Blum. Watch just how poor of a break he gets on this ball. It was a late break, and then he broke back. Brandon Allen's been a strikeout victim a couple of times tonight.
The communication. Greinke came off the mound, let fielder know he was making the play. Kennedy, fabulous. The bullpen now. Time for you guys to step up. PS Energy All-Star, a fabulous job tonight. Now the bullpen takes over, but this is some of the resume tonight for Kennedy.
That led off the game. It was a strikeout, and it just continued to get better and better. Prince Fielder had a tough time against Ian Kennedy, as did fellow All-Star Ricky Weeks. He just made the pitches when he had to make them tonight, Darren. 7 more shutout innings for Ian Kennedy. And he leaves the ball game with 6 outs to go for the Diamondbacks to salvage a split of this long 4-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers.
6 outs to go for a man who has made 6 major league appearances in his career against Milwaukee, and a club where I would imagine there could be some matching up going on. A left-hander warming in the bullpen. You have a left-handed hitter, Morgan, waiting, a right-handed hitter, Braun. Then you have Prince, left-handed hitter, and Joe Patterson warming. See if Shaw can get this righty.
A lot of cut fastballs, and what you have to have from Shaw in this situation, a youngster throwing in big innings, is you have to have strikes. First and foremost, you have to have strikes.
Like that. Even the count at 1, the cut fastball over the outside. Second round pick of the Diamondbacks in 2008. Out of Long Beach State University. Has done starting and relieving in the minor leagues. Outside, 2-1. Hart in this ball game walked back in the 5th, grounded out to 3rd, and struck out. Line drive, base hit, left field. All right, so let's see what Kirk Gibson has in mind.
He's going to stay with Shaw. Well, these youngsters really being asked to get big outs.
You like to avoid a guy like Demmel, who's been used a lot. Oh my goodness, and he bunted that one. What's the call?
Well, it had to have hit him. Let's see if Brian Runge.
What's Brian Runge saying?
Well, Miguel Montero is adamant that it hit the bat.
It looked like it did hit the bat.
Meanwhile, Nigel Morgan is trying to walk it off down the line. Let's see if it did hit it. No, that didn't hit the bat. It hit his elbow.
Hit him in the elbow.
Yeah. All of a sudden, just like that, Ryan Braun represents the go-ahead run here in the 8th inning. A base hit and a first pitch hit batsman. There's some butterflies out there. These guys are cutting their teeth here at the big league level. Brian Shaw's now got to find a way to retire, well, the leading vote getter for the All-Star game in the National League, Ryan Braun.
And for some reason in these situations, whether he needs extra days of rest or recovery, Micah Owings is not trusted in these situations. Gentlemen, a young man with 6 appearances in the major leagues.
You know, without J.J. Putz, this was the situation that Aaron Heilman was put in. Aaron Heilman has been let go, and they've gone with the youngsters. And with young pitchers, you get young mistakes. They have not been in these situations. But he starts Ryan Braun with strike 1.
Patterson is ready for Fielder in the pen, the left-handed reliever. The 0-1. Bouncing ball could be 2. Bloomquist on to first. Double play!
Wow. And sometimes with youngsters, you get a ray of sunshine, and that certainly was right there. Just a tailor-made 6-4-3. Bloomquist, not Drew. Bloomquist, a perfect feed over to Kelly Johnson, who turns it as good as anyone in the game. Man, what a big pitch by young Brian Shaw, he'll leave this ball game feeling good about himself.
And a little more wear on the tires. He's now experienced that situation, and he'll be back out there again. The left-hander, Joe Patterson, now for Fielder. Fielder 1 for 3 against Patterson. First pitch is swung right through. The 2 outs have been strikeouts. Rule 5 pick Joe Patterson, supposed to be a Giants minor leaguer. This is his 41st appearance this season.
This is why we watch right here, folks, these matchups.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Fielder.
2 of the best breaking balls Joe Pa's thrown all year to jump ahead of Prince Fielder. All right, folks, go ahead and get behind Joe Pa now.
The 0-2. Got him! Fielder 1 of 16 on the series. And Kirk Gibson's baby bullpen gets it done. Still trying to figure out where their locker is in that locker room. Getting Fielder and Braun to end the inning.
Very long for Joe Pa, Joe Patterson to just work Prince Field. First pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Second pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Third pitch and last pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Prince Fielder. You're going to have to leave town and get hot against the San Francisco Giants, son, because you just got a straight education from the left-handed specialist, Joe Patterson.
You want to know the good news? He will get hot.
Oh,
he will. History tells us he will, and that's good news for the Diamondbacks.
Those kayakers out there in McCovey Cove are going to have to go get a few, courtesy of Mr. Fielder.
LaTroy Hawkins takes the assignment. Hawkins having a turn back the clock kind of season, a 1.65 ERA. First batters have had their moments with him on occasion. And here's Gerardo Parra. What's going on down there? You hear that hollering down there?
Somebody hooting and hollering down there.
Sounds like a yak in a bear trap. Oh, and 1 the count. That one bounces in there.
Veteran LaTroy Hawkins having a heck of a year. An ERA of 1.65. There's your guy.
That's Julius. Is that who we heard? That was a new noise he was making. Slap. Oh, my goodness. I mean, right on McGee.
Too hot to handle for Casey McGee, and he whiffs it.
Oh.
That glove was a little tardy getting down there. It was hit so hard.
I don't blame him. Looked like the recently retired Chris Osgood trying to make a stop there.
That'll go as a base hit, as you can see. That glove was just tardy getting down.
Yeah, you bet.
Julian loves his Diamondbacks. He brings the energy every night, doesn't he?
Much like this man, Ryan Roberts. He's been on a nice roll of late. He's got 13 homers. And 40 runs batted in. I'll tell you this. We would love to grab a few more runs here.
Hey, going out on a limb there.
What's going on here? Oh, and 1 the count. That was a good bit.
Yeah, glad. Yeah.
We were told
That's
the
just-
young man's
that's
really
just
into it behind him.
Scintillating, isn't it?
Hang on, folks. 1-1 the count. Runner on the move, swung right through. It was a hit and run. The throw's dropped. Or it hit a sliding Parra. We'll see on the replay. Either way, he's in there in scoring position. Stolen base for Gerardo Parra.
They do play hit and run, and Roberts comes up empty. And it's a good throw from LaCroix. It just looked like Ricky Weeks. He just didn't get it, stick his nose down in there and make the play.
So now an RBI chance, or at least a chance to move that runner to third for Roberts. Something in the air will get that runner to third. See if he can find the outfield. Slow curveball. There's a strike. Drops it in there to Roberts. 7 stolen bases this season.
That's strike 3.
You bet. Totally locked him up. Grabbed the outside corner. Hey, don't forget, Fox supports Arizona. Join us as the network supports Southwest Autism Research and Resource Center, SARC, as they offer programs for adults with autism to provide skills for success. Learn more about how you can help by visiting FoxSportsArizona.com and then click on the Fox Supports Arizona homepage. Great people with SARC. Here's Willie, and Bloomquist takes low. Hawkins had a run this year. It was from late April into early July of 22 consecutive games in which he didn't give up an earned run. Opponents are hitting .282 against him, though. LaTroy Hawkins on the DL on a couple of occasions last year. To the right side. Willie makes them make the play as he hustles up the line. On this date in baseball history, the final home run.
Man.
Hammer and Hank, number 755, did it as a Brewer. You'll remember that he finished his career, obviously started as a Brave in Milwaukee.
He hit it in Milwaukee, didn't he?
Yes, finished as a Brewer in Milwaukee. And beloved when he went back, especially by generations from before who watched him play in that ballpark.
Everybody knows about all the home runs that Hank Aaron hit, but a lot of people just do not understand what a great hitter for average, all the doubles and singles. And he hit a lot of home runs, but he hit for average, RBI. I mean, he was incredible. If you ever want to be impressed, grab an old baseball card of Henry Aaron and just look at the numbers, just eye-popping numbers. Never hit 50 home runs. Never.
Nearly 2,300 RBIs. The 1-0. Kelly drives it. Deep left. He crushed that ball. Get out of here. You bet. He's been taking a shot out there all night long. Persistent. Now he's rewarded. 111 team home runs for the Diamondbacks, one behind the Bashan Brewers for the National League lead, a Fulton Holmes homer.
Kelly Johnson had flied to left field 3 times tonight. This time, he stays back and drives it about 3 rows deep over the head of Ryan Braun. And out of here. 2 big insurance runs here for the fellas with D-backs on their chest. Good for Kelly Johnson. RBI is number 48 and 49 for Johnson. And even though the batting average is not there this year, Darren, the production has been there. Boy, Jonathan Lucroy just taking a beating here tonight. Just a beating.
Well, in the who needs to step up text poll, 3 of the 4 have homered in this game. Picking up the slack, Stephen Drew left behind.
And you said Kelly Johnson, I said Montero. Most people agree with you, Darren.
Well, we have a smart and educated fan base.
That's a little concerning.
That is the first home run LaTroy Hawkins has given up this year. A little chopper. The play is made. So 3 outs to a split for these Arizona Diamondbacks. Kelly Johnson persistent. He was 0 for 3 coming into that at bat. He got the last laugh. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards unlimited reward seats with no blackout dates. CenturyLink. Quest is becoming CenturyLink. CenturyLink. Your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com. David Hernandez takes the rock and he rolls, and has done so very efficiently since J.J. Putz, the first team closer, has gone on the disabled list. He's been good enough to be 9 of 11, a 3.05 ERA. This is not a save situation. It doesn't matter. These are 3 monster outs against the Milwaukee Brewers. And he'll look to get him, and he'll start it off with strike 1.
And he will tell you that has been the difference since he became the closer in J.J. Putz's absence. The reason for his success is because he's done a lot more throwing of strike 1.
Fastball had some late jump. Weeks couldn't hang on to it. So the count is 0-2. There's been 1 base runner since he took over as the closer for J.J. Putz in the 9th inning. Took over that role on July 2nd at Oakland. There's been 1 base runner. It was a walk.
That's unbelievable. Honestly. Just missed with a breaking ball. It stayed high.
would imagine that it had that regretful feeling when it left its hands. You almost want it staying there rather than hanging out over the plate. You call Weeks a good bad ball hitter early in the game. There's where he wanted it.
You want that pitch, young man. Steve Reich, 3-1 out.
Hernandez retires. Weeks. Right behind him is McGee.
That's the breaking ball you were talking about, Darren. That's where you want that thing. Nice block there by Miguel Montero as well. That won't show up in the box score tomorrow, but a good block by Montero.
J.J. Putz on his way to a rehab assignment. Left the club today. Strike one. A little bit more on that. Brad, what'd you find out from J.J.?
Well, Darren, you and I were making our way into the ballpark today. We saw J.J. with one small bag heading off to make a couple of relief appearances in Sacramento. He was very excited, it sounded like. But really the key, and I think Gibby wants to see this, and I think J.J. does as well, how he responds after back-to-back outings. He'll pitch tomorrow and Saturday, and if everything is on track, he'll be back with this club sooner than later. But he was looking forward to a big weekend for the Aces.
All right, J.J. Putz, good luck to him on his rehab, and thank you, Brad, for chasing that story through the parking lot. And that's good stuff. Hopefully back soon. Meantime, Hernandez looks to button up this ninth inning. And Gibson has been adamant. He doesn't just want his veteran closer to have a good outing and then maybe 2 days later have another good outing, maybe put 3 or 4 together and be okay. He wants back-to-back days.
And maybe back-to-back days in the same week.
Oh, absolutely. He wants it to happen a couple of times, then they'll activate him. Because as he says, I don't need to bring him back and then be concerned about him within a week or two.
Get himself healthy, then come on back. What a job Charlie Nagy has done this year with this pieced-together pitching staff.
The 1-2. Bouncing ball had him out front. Willie Bloomquist gets it out of that glove finally and fires it on across. 1 out to go for a series split with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Just a great breaking ball, and you see McGee just way out in front, and he just nothing left as he just taps it easily to Willie Bloomquist, who has been flawless in his first game replacing Stephen Drew. And yeah, get them all up. Go ahead and flex it a little bit.
Yuniesky Betancourt with the score 4-0. Breaking ball has him tap dancing out of the way. Only game left in Major League Baseball is wrapping up right now here in Arizona. The Giants idle tonight. The Diamondbacks a chance to gain a half a game and wake up in the morning and be 4 games back. Line drive center field. The game's not over yet.
Well, that guy's had a heck of a series, has Betancourt. I mean, that's the first base hit David Hernandez has given up since taking over the closer role, folks. And like you said, that was back on the last road trip beginning in Oakland, California.
This is appearance number 9. That's the first hit he has allowed in appearance number 9. There's been 1 walk and now 1 hit. And Betancourt was 0 for 4 against him. Yeah, Betancourt with a pair of hits has had a big series overall. A pair of hits tonight. Fastball outside corner. And Betancourt has 7 hits in this series. A couple homers. Popped up and will reach the seats. 0-2 the count. Rockies coming to town this weekend. You immediately become a Brewers fan the moment this game is over. Should Arizona beat them? Because they head to San Francisco. Prince, get hot. Ryan, keep doing what you're doing. But for now, David on 0-2. Into the dirt it goes. You couldn't miss your spot by any more than he just did.
That is very true, Darren Sutton. Watch where Miguel Montero wants this, folks. He wants it up high. Wham! Right into the ground and right off the ankle of Miguel Montero. Even big leaguers do it, all you young pitchers out there, so don't feel too bad if you do that once in a while. Diamondbacks 1 strike away from that split that they so need in there.
There it is, a strikeout of Lucroy over the top of it. Their 8th team shutout this season. Number 8 as a team, and Arizona celebrates. They do it for Drew, and they'll continue to do it for Drew without Steven, and they will play for their fallen shortstop and also have guys like Upton and Montero and Johnson. And you know what else? Pitching picked up the slack. It was about pitching tonight. Gracie and I look forward to talking about it. I know Todd and Joe have a lot to weigh in on as well. The Diamondbacks win it. They split this series with the Milwaukee Brewers. 4 back of the Giants. The postgame show is after the commercial break.